Recently, Miles Doers Art has made an exposed video on me for my alleged racism, transphobia, and many other claims. So I'd like to go over the claims to allow you to hear my side of the story. So jumping into the video, Miles first accuses me of threatening a user. So I'd like to say first that this user is known as Olamist. Olamist and I used to be friends, but eventually our friendship deteriorated after I was kicked out of the group chat because I killed Hypercrystal's Minecraft horse. Now, the messages of me, quote-unquote, threatening Olamis were from a time when I was extremely upset, as one of Miles' former friends, as well as many of my former YouTuber friends, personally told me for endless months Hypercrystal and Miles Doers Art have been spreading false accusations that I defend groomers/pedophiles. I was, and I'm still under the belief that the other YouTubers in the group chat had to know the allegations thrown at myself and Odyssey 10 were exaggerated and faked, as they were personally there to witness Odyssey 10's alleged grooming, but never as much as try to hear his side on the situation, despite claiming to be one of his friends. Now, if you were friends with someone who is being accused of grooming, would you not at least try to hear their side of the story, instead of just cutting them off? I personally think it's a cowardly action for them to just fully believe everything Hypercrystal and Miles Doers Art said without no question at all. Now, Olamist and Miles failed to mention how she and I already resolved this situation in private, as she had one of our mutual friends, Sonic Boom, privately chat to me to calm me down and to end the situation. I don't like how Olamist never mentioned how we calmed down the situation, which caused me to never make the video. That feels quite dishonest to leave such an important piece of context out of this situation. Again, you claim you never accused me of being a groomer defender, but many people have come out disproving this statement. Miles, it was even the first time you've made up a false accusation against someone. You made false groomer accusations against the YouTuber Fordle as well, showing a malicious pattern you have with falsely accusing people. Next up, Hypercrystal and Miles now claim that me changed their Minecraft signs as a form of harassment, which is quite ironic as Hypercrystal himself admitted that he heavily blew things out of proportion. Now moving on to the transphobic claims. Here in this screenshot, Miles Doers Art is claiming that I was being transphobic by misgendering him. But no, I wasn't talking about you, Miles. That quote-unquote girl I was talking about was one of your ex-friends who told me that you called me a groomer defender. So no, I did not misgender you. I don't know why you thought I was talking about you. Next, they accused me of harassing a user by the name of Cosmos is Me, but what they call harassment is actually just me calling out Cosmos' weird behavior. The BFDI fandom is full of children, so to make videos of you reading out sexual fanfics as well as sexually explicit content is extremely wrong. Again, you can disregard all these DMs, as I already mentioned that Olympus and I already had mediation with Sonic Boom to calm down the situation, so for it to be used against me is misleading. Alright, now next to go on the ableist and racism claims. First, the screenshot is heavily taken out of context. I'm referring to a YouTuber named Okenku's Animators who made a map, which he had many animators work on. Okenku was talking about how his animators were extremely slow, so I called them mid-slaves as they weren't making the animations fast. This had no relation to race or skin color. Next, they show DMs of me saying the R word. I'd like to explain how I have autism. It's up to your personal opinion if you found my usage to be harmful. I have to admit that I'm not very socially aware as a person, so I can see why people would see me in a bad light of me using the word. Now for the racism allegations, I'm a person of color being born Filipino. My skin tone is brown, my friends often refer to me as a monkey, even Mario himself called me a monkey. This is a situation of two friends joking around that is now being used to paint me in a light of being racist, even though I'm not. It is my belief that Maru felt angered by me cutting him off, so he wanted to get revenge on me. Here's some DMs of me saying some jokes that are a tad inappropriate. But to paint this in a light of me being sexual towards my fans is obviously ridiculous, as is an obvious joke. Have you ever seen those YouTube videos and the comments being like, "Lol, I edged your videos"? That was what I was referring to. Now for Beast in the Gamer word, here is my friend Okenku's testimony on the situation.
John Snowball is not racist. So to explain the situation, one time we were playing Word Bomb, and the answer to the game was the N-word. And I've previously given Giant Snowball permission to use the N-word, like quote unquote the N-word pass, and then he typed it in the chat so that he could get the word right.
That is what my friend Okenku had to say. I understand that this doesn't justify the usage, so I once again apologize for it. Before the video ends, I think this is an important detail to mention. All these screenshots released of me were being used as blackmail. Brown Scarf and the rest of the group had these messages for over months, but only decided to use it against me when I privately confronted them about allowing Hypercrystal and Miles Doers Art to falsely accuse Odyssey 10 of being a groomer. If you really thought I was racist, why'd you keep these messages private for months then, huh? I want to reiterate the point that these guys are very much cowards. They want to maintain their squeaky clean reputations, so they decided to privately contact Miles Du's art all the screenshots to expose me, so they didn't have to get their hands dirty. Someone they know who falsely accuses people and is a groomer. They basically help the groomer look better in the eyes of the public just to get back at me, which is honestly really pathetic. It really goes to show how they have no morality and only care about looking better.